Hey guys, it's Lisa, and today we are going to go over my recent trip to New York City, to SoHo, to the Louis Vuitton Murakami, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, Murakami Collection, the relaunch. It's their 20-year anniversary since they launched that collection. And the reason that this is somewhat special to me is because when that collection first came out, let's see, it was in the, was it in the early 2000s? Brooke was born in 2000, and then Will was born in 2003. I was a young mom, and a Louis Vuitton bag was not really on my radar. Plus, I live in a town that has not a lot of shopping, and I had only seen one. My friend Angela, that I met here on YouTube, one of my subscribers, she used to drive from Raleigh and meet me at Ulta when I got my hair done there. And I remember she had a black one. And I remember looking at that bag thinking, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I just loved it. So I have actually bought a pre-owned one before from Forward. They sell pre-owned bags. It was a black one. And when I got it in, it just looked old and kind of beat up. And it was still pretty expensive. And I returned it. And since then, I've almost regretted that, because I just loved that bag. I am sentimental, I guess. I guess it's nostalgic is probably a better word. And I love just when something like really means something to me. Remember Paris Hilton had that bag, Jessica Simpson. That was the height of J-Lo, Jenny from the Block. That was when I was still getting a lot of magazines. And so I've always wished that I could have some of these bags. And then my friend Madison, Payne, here on YouTube is the one that said, Lisa, because we had talked about this collection before. She's a handbag friend. And she said, that collection's coming back out. Immediately, I messaged my Louis Vuitton rep in Soho and I told him, I want one of each. I want a black one and a white one. And then not much time later, maybe 3 weeks or a month, because this was months ago, he sent me the catalog so that I could pick out what I wanted. I chose 12 items. And then when it, got closer and closer to crunch time, I had to narrow it down because they are being very, very specific. And I kind of experienced this with Rolex. And I just remembered I'm not wearing earrings, but my ears don't even show. So this is going to be kind of a casual video because I'm upset over the fires in California. I am, and I typically don't even touch on these subjects. And I do think that we all come here to YouTube for a getaway, and this is my job. So I decided to go ahead and proceed with this video, but just know it is weighing heavy on my heart. And plus, there's so much to say with this video that is deeper. I kind of get anxiety. So we're going to just take it one little sentence at a time here. Okay, so going back to kind of like when I got my Rolex, the Tiffany blue face one, I remember that was when Rolex was, you could not buy one. And you had to tell the guy exactly like your dream version. You couldn't just say, oh, I'll take whatever you get, or I want to see whatever you get. It had to be a particular one. And that's how this was because it's first come, first served. So, okay, there's the background on the collection. And then another part of this story is because I was just planning on ordering it and, having it shipped here like I have done with him many times before. So we're going to do like we always do, where I tell you what I wore, what I bought, what I did, and what I ate as a carnivore in New York and where I stayed, because I stayed at my first really nice place in New York this time. And I feel like that was kind of a bit of a moment for me and just a real change. Okay, I want to talk about another thing that really added to this whole experience. And I don't mean this in a like woo-woo type way, but manifestation. You guys, I feel like everything that has ever happened in my life good, including meeting John and having my children and everything, I have manifested in that you keep your eyes on the prize, you make tiny decisions every day, and it moves you closer to those things that you dream of and want. And these things happen in their own time and in so many different ways. And I talk about stuff like this more on my membership channel. If you ever want to get into stuff like this, I will put that link down below. But I think I told you that when I got that jade ring from my parents for Christmas, it was something that I had seen years before that. And then my parents ended up finding that ring and I loved it. Well, I've also told you that I've kind of gotten re-interested, if that's a word, in vintage shopping. I just, over the Christmas holidays, I really found some good girls that do vintage shopping, and it's always intrigued me. Matter of fact, this blazer I have on today, I showed you in my Friday haul that you have probably already seen, but this is the Dolce & Gabbana blazer that I bought from eBay. And it fits perfectly. I can't wear like a t-shirt. I've actually got that pumy top that I showed you on Friday's video under it. So therefore it fits and I just love it. I love it. There's just something so fabulous about vintage, especially designer fashion. So I've always wanted a real vintage fur coat. And I've been looking for vintage Levi's. So that is what really drew me to going into, oh my gosh, you guys, I have been in one of the worst experiences was going in my Goodwill that is right outside of one of the highest end neighborhoods that's here. It was very sad. I cannot believe I can't handle that place better, but I don't know the whole workings of it, so I shouldn't judge. But it was not, there was nothing in there that made you want to hunt at all. So, okay, hold on. I'm going to find my exact place I want to start here. Okay, so I set out of here on a Monday. Looks like it was December 30th. And I thought, today I'm going to give it a good try. I'm going to go to all the thrift stores up here in my area that are nicer. They're not, curated with all expensive things like in big cities or anything, but they're nice thrift stores. They are places that I have taken things before. One of them donates to the women's shelter. One of them is a good friend of mine that I met when Brooke was in dance. And the other one is one that I have taken so much stuff to when we moved. So I set out, I went to one, didn't find anything. Then I went across the street. Then I went to the other one. And each one I went to, I noticed it was getting better and better, more organized, it fed me enough to want to keep going. Then I stopped at the third one, and I'm going to put this picture in here. I walked in, and there it was hanging, a fur coat. And it is just like the one that I have seen so many times, and I have probably posted this picture on Lauren Hutton back in probably, if I had to say, it's probably in the 70s, and $50, you guys. So I had the lady at the front take a picture of me wearing it. And then I was so excited that I messaged my parents, because I've told you that my parents have always been into antiques, to vintage stuff, vintage jewelry. My mom had given me 2 of her old vintage. One of them has a fur collar, another one's a fur. And that had just happened, a couple of weeks before that. And I stopped by there and I was just buzzing on the inside. I was so happy. So that day, the Louis Vuitton guy had invited me to a Louis Vuitton event, a pop-up shop party type thing for this collection. And I just went out of town to New York in December. So I was a little hesitant, and I never want to be like with John and everything. He did not want to go. I don't want to be a brat. I don't want to be, I want to do all the right things. So I get in there with my parents. I can't believe how beautiful this coat is. I just got this ring, and there was that manifested moment. Me with the ring I wanted with that coat, the picture I sent my mom. And then here is this bag collection coming back out of nowhere that I always wanted. And then I get invited to a Louis Vuitton event and party. And all these things were happening, and my parents were like, go. I would go, and my dad said, go up Friday. And the collection dropped on Friday, but my event that I was invited to was on Saturday. And I kept asking him, does it better my chances of getting something if I come up there? And he said, well, it probably would, because you would be right here. So I asked him for hotel suggestions, and he said that a close one was, let's see, I always forget the name. I always want to say Oxford. Okay, the Crosby Hotel on Crosby Street. So I called John and I asked him, could I go? And then that night we made flight arrangements for me to get there that day and come home that Sunday. I let my Louis Vuitton guy know and I was off. So let's see what I wore to. Oh gosh, and I had so much fun watching what people wear in New York because I really wanted to be warm for one thing, because I knew it was going to be in the 30s. I knew I was going to be walking, and I've just really been through a deep dive into my style and the things I want to change this year. And I've already shown you this girl, but this is just me all the way with the fur coat and the black pants. So I just had the best time packing. Okay, I got down all of my hats. You'll see here. Ended up, the only hat I took was my new Gucci one that I got from Gucci when I went with John. And then here, I'm trying to get to me. Okay, here's me packing. So I really had a good time too because I had a couple of days. Instead of usually having one day to pack like I typically do, I decided to take 2 big suitcases and not overpack. So I took my new fur. I took my express trousers, I always want to say schutz, but my Quince boots, you guys. Just keep Quince boots in your mind. I also asked my friend Kelly from Mommy's Makeup and Moscato about what handbag I should take. And she said I would take a crossbody because then you can have hands-free and they won't be cold and all that stuff. I was like, yes, you're right. Because I was going to take like one of my newer bags I had just gotten. So I took this little, I'm not sure of the name. It's the Louis Vuitton bag that's kind of like a trunk and it has the black strap. And it's so beautiful because it has the gold chain. So when you're wearing it crossbody, it really looks beautiful. It adds a lot to your outfit. I took some new jeans that I told you guys about. Where are they? They're right here. Hold on. Okay, these are the ones I just got from Banana Republic, and I did order these are the 26, but they run big, which was perfect. So I did order the 25 because I also had gotten smart and decided to, instead of wearing hose underneath my pants to keep me warm, I wore my Nay leggings. If any of you have gotten those, you know that they are basically seamless. They're thin and they're so comfortable. So I took those and I wore them like the whole time. The whole way there, the whole time there, and the whole way back. I also took my Zara wool coat that I had just shown you. I took my black Hoka sneakers for emergencies. And then I ended up taking my Uggs too, my black Uggs, just in case. For jackets, I took a Zara leopard. I took my new fur, which I'm so excited about. And I took, the black jacket. And I took my big Louis Vuitton carry-all. Is that what it's called? It's like a giant Speedy. I think it's a 45. And yeah, so that's what I took. Okay. And then for my tops underneath, I'm kind of going through this because it was perfection. I did, if I must say so myself, I did everything right with this trip. And that does not happen with me very often. So I took 2 Pumi tops. Remember, they're double layered. They're form-fitting, just the perfect layering piece. Then I took 3 black cashmere sweaters. One was from Anthropologie. I'll list everything below. One from Quince and one from Reformation. Okay, so here is, and I took my cashmere socks from Quince. And I took some other socks, but I'll tell you, I wore those cashmere socks. They were the most comfortable, and I was not cold. So here's Sassy getting in my suitcases. And here's me the next morning with my base layer of the Nay and the Pumi. And this is what I wore. The flight left at 7, so I had to be at the airport by 6. Just loved my outfit so much. I'd had a blowout before I left, so I didn't have to take any hair products. I just kept putting oil in my hair, brushing it out, and I went for it. You can see it was still dark when John took me to the airport. And then I had a wonderful flight. I did not even need. I also took my J. Crew oversized cashmere wrap. And I'm telling you, that thing is begging for mercy because I don't know if there's a day that goes by that I don't use that wrap. I just love it. I sleep with it every night. I take it with me. But I took my coat off on the plane. It was just an hour and 15 minutes straight flight. I did have to fly American. I prefer Delta, but American had a much cheaper flight, even first class, and was a straight flight and was early. Delta had none of those. Okay, then here I am coming in New York and says it was 32. The first day was not that cold, actually. I go through the airport. I noticed they've got all the Christmas stuff still up. Here's this cat I saw in the airport. I told her if I had my cat out here, I would either be bleeding from head to toe, there would be no cat at the end of my leash, or it would be up in the air like a helicopter. I just cannot imagine. Bubba is the only one I can imagine being able to take somewhere. And this is something I couldn't wait to tell you too. Those same guys were at the airport going, taxi, want a taxi, need a taxi? And I was wise this time. I walked out the door. I told them no, walked out the door, looked to my left, and there were all the taxis. So just a nice taxi ride to my airport. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear all the dogs barking, but they are having a little fun festival out there. Got in the taxi, enjoyed my ride, and got to the hotel. Gosh, here it is, New York, Soho. And this is the Crosby Hotel. And you guys, I immediately go in, check in. My room wasn't ready. And I get them to hold my bags. And then I tell them I'm going to go eat breakfast in the restaurant. So she goes and sits me by the window. And I order eggs and bacon, like I always do, and my Diet Coke. And then the madness started. I got a text from my Louis Vuitton rep. And he said, I'm sending you a link. I'm telling you, it was like being in some kind of heist. He said, I'm going to send you the link. You need to pay for it immediately. It's first come, first serve. Now, if you're familiar with this whole launch at all, it has been sketchy. Nothing was available on the website. I looked early that morning. I got up at 4. And they're still just, stock is still just trickling in. So it's like you're lucky for what you get. So he sent me the link to pay for it. And you guys, first I couldn't get a connection because I didn't have a room number yet to hook onto the hotel. Then they text me and tell me they've got my room ready. So then I get on their internet. Then I step outside. My breakfast is getting cold. And I finally just said to him, I kept trying to pay for it and it kept saying processing. I wouldn't doubt if their system was just getting overloaded. And so I said, well, can I just come to the store and pay for it? And he said, yes, but you'll have to give me the card at the front door. I was like, oh my gosh. So I go give them my big bag, my travel bag, and I tell them I'll be back. And I head out in an Uber, which was not the thing to do. I could have walked there like 3 times quicker, but I didn't know exactly where I was yet. And so here is where I walk in and I message him and I say, I'm here. And he says, are you at the pop-up or the main store? And so I take this picture. He comes up the stairs and I haven't seen him. I met him when I went there with Zara a couple of years ago. And this is a similar circumstance. And so he took my card, went downstairs, paid for it. I took a little bit of footage here for you guys just to see all of the, little accessories and everything. But it wasn't crazy yet. It was just pretty calm. Here's my outfit I wore that I loved. Here are some of the bags. And I knew I had an appointment the next day at 11 o'clock. I was his first appointment at the pop-up shop. And so I went ahead and paid for those 2 bags. And then you could buy the shoes. So I looked at the shoes. I tried on the heels. I tried on the kind of like dad sandals. And did I try on anything else? I kind of just decided neither one of those fit my foot very well. I do like the sneakers, but I've told you that how I feel about sneakers lately. And I do have sneakers that I love. So I wasn't having that warm, fuzzy feeling about the sneakers. And so I told him, I said, I am going to Just see you tomorrow. Before I left, I did purchase a belt. I don't know if I took a picture. Yes, they had the belt in the black and in the white. And it wasn't crazy expensive. I've definitely paid more for belts. And I thought the black one would look good in the summer with just denim, sandals, and a white tank top. So that was my plan with that. And then I figured, shoot, I'm already out. Oh, and they got me a Diet Coke. They were so nice to me that day. They were nice to everybody, but I really just had the best day. So, okay, yeah, here's me trying on the shoes. And then I walk out, and right next door is the pop-up shop. I had not seen it because, the Uber had just dropped me off right there at the front door. So I got a little taste of what is to come the next day. And then, okay, we'll go into my shopping agenda. When I go out of town, I will usually have something in my mind that I want and something like a challenge. Well, what I've been really wanting to do is get back to my minimal aesthetic, just chic style that I've always had. I've always loved black boots. I've always loved blazers. I've always loved sweaters. I've never really been a big sneaker girl. And I want to just kind of reel it back in. And we'll talk about it further in another video. So black boots were on my radar. I am just going to show you like the hero products because if you watch my videos, you're going to be seeing everything. And I really haven't tried everything on or worn everything. So there are some products in here that I feel so strongly about that I would rather spend more time on those. For instance, these boots. These are by Kate. And you guys know I love the elongated toe. Sometimes I like pointed, but I had been looking at these. And now that I'm traveling more and I'm going to colder places, I realize I need to wear socks. So I didn't know what size to order. So this was the first place that I went and I bought these boots. And I had a real nice guy helping me. And I did still end up with size 38. So I would say your true size is what you should get if you want these. Look at the back of them. Oh my gosh, they are fabulous. They remind me of my good old rag and bone boots that I have worn to death. And I really have gotten to where I like it when a boot looks like you've worn it. I just think when you see someone and their clothes look worn, not worn out, but worn, and they look very comfortable and everything it doesn't look so try hard. You know what I mean? I just really want to get back to that place where I really, really, really wear my clothes. But in order to do that, you have to find comfortable things. These are so comfortable. So on my mind was finding boots that were comfortable, and I wanted to try different price points because these are quite an investment. So one of the places I went on Saturday night, and when I say Saturday night, I had no plans to really stay out past dark, but this just kind of happened. I went in the store, and by the time I tried on, I'm serious, I tried on so many boots and so many pants and so many jeans there. By the time I tried them all on, it was getting dark, and we had made sure that John had my location so he could track me just in case something were to happen. And he messaged me, "Where are you?" And luckily my hotel was like right on the next street. So these are from Schutz and they are a similar look. I will not say they're just the same. They are a fraction of the price. They're still not cheap, but I wore these all day Sunday. I headed out early because I woke up like at 4 something and 5 something every morning there. And I wanted to get out early. I wanted to get my parents' bagels. We'll get into that. But I wore these all day and they were so comfortable. And they are from Schutz, and I will link these below. But the true winner is the boots from Quince. You guys, these boots were so comfortable. And this is probably the first time I've ever come back from a vacation and my feet did not hurt. They were not red. There wasn't a mark. I wasn't swollen. Just perfection. Better than sneakers. And one thing I was telling my mom about this, one thing I really noticed when I was wearing them, either under jeans or under my black pants, I love the way they looked. And there is something about the heel size and the way these wear that gives you a really good walk, a good gait, a good momentum to your step. You're not trying to hold on to a shoe, all of those things. I mean, 5 stars, 10 stars, however, not one single thing I can say about them. One thing that was funny is I noticed, you can see it here, I noticed something on my shoe. I had not taken off the daggone, there was like a plastic ring around them. And you can see here, they are kind of rubbery on the bottom, right here. Oh my gosh, the best. The best. So that is something that I really think you should get. So anyway, went to Kate, got the boots, love them. Then I went, I've been getting into the Japanese denim and just trying new things. I don't know if I'm really going to like it, but this is what I do, and this is my interest and my passion. So I went to this place. Matter of fact, the guy at Kate, I think, told me about it, and it's a place called R45 that does Japanese denim. I talked to them there about why Japanese denim is different, what makes it more expensive, all of those things. And I did buy a pair of jeans, so I'll be wearing those. Then I was getting so many compliments on my coat. I mean, so many compliments. And a guy told me, I said, I found it vintage from a thrift store. And so he told me about this thrift store. Oh, what is it called? I'll see it later on. I'll put an annotation down here. But this was one of those where they have buyers that go out and find good things. So it wasn't real cheap in here. It was just really good vintage stuff. So I looked at the fur coats, nothing I wanted, but I did get a pair of European vintage Levi's 501s. I actually tried on, I would say 5 pair, because a lot of them had been, altered in some way, and I found a really good pair. So they call it the Genius Bar, and you give them your size, and they pull out all the ones so that you can pick something that you like. Okay, then I headed out of there and went back to the hotel, checked in, got my room key, and this is my room, you guys. Words cannot express the beauty of this hotel. I felt so at home here with the staff, with the look of the hotel. It was just so beautiful. I took so many pictures because I just wanted to send so many to my mom and dad. It's the biggest, nicest hotel I've ever stayed in New York. And the location couldn't be better. And the food was amazing. So here's the bathroom. Okay, so for that afternoon, I switched into my Zara coat that I took with me. I put on my sunglasses and headed out again. And I think I put on my Hoka black sneakers just because I brought them. The boots were more comfortable. I'm not even kidding. The boots were more comfortable than the sneakers. Then I went to Acne Studios, and I'll go ahead and show you what I got at Acne Studios. I got 1 pair of jeans. I had the nicest guy and the nicest girl helping me. I tried on this is not like me, but I vowed to myself that I was going to try some stuff on. I tried on probably, 6 or 8 pair of jeans. I ended up getting some that you'll see me wearing on Sunday. And then the girl working there had on these boots. Now, this is another boot that I had been looking at online and didn't know what size to get. Hers were worn in, and it just had that, it really had a cool factor to it. And she told me that she wears them to work all the time. So I haven't worn these yet. I told my friend Tracy I was going to wear them today so that I could tell her what were the most comfortable ones out of these or the Kate boots. And these say Acne Studios, Stockholm, made in Italy at the top. But something that I did that I haven't ever really done a lot, probably because of where I live? I'm not used to putting a full boot up under a pair of pants. But it felt good. And I think it does make you feel warmer, especially because I had my cashmere socks and then I had my leggings down. So had a really good time in Acne Studios. And even look at these sneakers. I did not like that. So then I left there and I think I just went Did I just? Yeah, went right back to the hotel and went downstairs for dinner. All of my meals I ate at the hotel, and I loved it. The first day, I sat at the window towards the back. Then I discovered this window right beside the road, the street, and I loved that. It was cold sitting there because you could feel like the cold air coming in, but it was worth it. Look at this, how beautiful this dining room is. I got a cheeseburger with bacon and a fried egg. This is a go-to for me when I'm out of town. I will get a big breakfast, and then typically I will get a burger with a fried egg and bacon because the steaks are expensive and I don't eat any sides and they don't fill me up. Like, say I order a filet and it comes out and it's this big with nothing on it and I have nothing else to eat. I'm starving. So that's why I have people ask me a lot why I don't get steaks. That's why. This, plus, is so good. You guys can tell how good it is. So I sat here, then I go upstairs. Look at this lamp. Okay, this is sentimental to me too because, I used to sew and I always loved dress forms. I don't know if you've been with me from the beginning, you probably remember me having a black dress form. I can't remember my other one, but I used to use them for my website. Back when I used to sell a lot of jewelry, I would use them for the pictures, and I've just always loved them. And I had a dress form on my business card when I used to sew, when I used to make handbags and window treatments. So they had this lamp, and then when I turned it on, it was red, and it turned the whole room red. It was such a vibe. And I called down to the front to see if they sold them, and they do on their website, but they're out. I put, to notify me. And then I went to bed. The first night I went to bed, here's the lamp. Oh my gosh, it's $951. Wow. This was a high-end hotel, and I tried to sleep with this red light on because it was just so cool, but in the middle of the night, I had to cut it off. You see, I took my Victoria's Secret pajamas. I took this black sleep mask, I think is from Sleep and Glow, and then my J. Crew wrap. I slept with it there. And here's the dress form they had in the room. And then, let's see. Oh, I did try on my jeans that night. They had left me a note in the room. It was just beautiful. Here's me trying on my boots I got that night. And I do step by step send my parents pictures of everything. So the next morning I got up early, went downstairs at 5:56, took my Diet Coke down there, and the restaurant didn't open until 7. She said, but you can go in our something room and we can cater it to you in there. I was like, oh, no. I'll wait till the restaurant opens. So I went in there and I was just amazed at the decor, the design of that room. Come to find out, the owner of this hotel is a designer. So I was sending so many pictures to my mom and my friend Tracy, who's a designer. And oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. They still had the Christmas tree up. So I ended up getting to know the girl and the guy at the front. You could go in this room and get coffee and tea early. So I sat in there for a while and just caught up with my email, texted everybody, caught up with everybody. Okay, here it is. It was 26 degrees in Soho that morning at 6:29. And then I'm looking at here at the desk, they have these little animals that you can buy that are made from the spare fabrics from the hotel. Because I wanted something to take with me, like a little memento to, add to my home decor. And the designer's name is actually Kit Kemp. And I ended up buying one of her books. And let me get it. Okay, so here it is. When I got out of breakfast, they had it wrapped up for me in here. She said this was their most popular one, Shop Kit Kent. And it is Every Room Tells a Story. And you guys know how I feel about that. I really feel like you should make your home reflect you. It's easy to get caught up on the latest trends. It kind of goes back to, like I always say, there's such a correlation between your fashion and your home because both of them are going to look better if you put your personal touch. And I do think that Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and everything else can kind of water down our style, and we'll get into that later. So I got that, and then I noticed when I went up to the Christmas tree, here were some more dress forms all over the Christmas tree. And so I went and commented, do you sell those dress forms? And she said, oh, I don't know if we have any more. We were giving those as a welcome gift in December. And this guy that was there at the front too said, I think we have some more left. Let me go downstairs and look. Look what he brought me. The dress form was on the tree. I'm telling you, this trip was so fabulous, and I will stay there if I can afford it. I am sure it is going to be crazy expensive, like during Fashion Week, and I don't know if I'll be able to, but I hope so, because I felt so at home here. I loved everyone. I loved the food. I loved the room. I mean, here's me on the sofa. I just felt so at ease. So then I go get my breakfast, and oh my God, look at this. They kept putting this on my plate even though I said no sides. It's some kind of hash brown thing, but look how crispy and good it looks. Oh my gosh. Then I go upstairs and it's pop-up time day. I have an appointment at 11. I texted him, am I going to have to wait in line? And he said, no, if you're right there at 11, I'll be there to let you in. Well, I did wait in line a little bit because I got there a little bit early, but I walked there very quickly, enjoyed talking to all the people in the line, and then they had us wait in one line if you had an appointment and one line if you didn't. So I was very thankful I had an appointment. And let's see, here it is. And you can see what I have on. I have on my Quince boots, my new jeans that I got at Banana Republic, my Zara jacket, my J. Crew oversized wrap, and gloves, cashmere gloves that I got last year. I can't remember where I got them from. Maybe Anthropologie, but little note I made to self is I need full gloves because even my little fingers, I will just have to take my hand out if I want to text. So here I am waiting there. I kind of got in a little alcove to wait in line, and I took pictures of inside the window. These are old bags that are in pristine shape or condition. I don't know if they were theirs or if they found them, but these bags are from the old collection. Here's the other side of the street, the line. And then I was the first one in the building for the pop-up shop. So I got to take all kinds of good pictures, without a lot of other people falling victim to my photos. So here are some of the old ones from the first collection, and everybody's, and little story about them. And even this one with the fringe. Oh my gosh. When I saw it, I thought it was going to be in the new collection, but it's not. So you see how everything was done up. And this is my essay. His name is Jerry, and he has, from the moment I met him, all I bought was a belt that day that I was there, but he has kept in contact with me. I've since then bought that mermaid looking cousin bag, and I'm not sure what else. I think some other stuff, but this is the thing. I was going to buy a key, a card holder, because Brooke wants mine. She doesn't want a new one. She wants mine. So I was going to buy a card holder. I also said I might buy a mini Speedy or a pochette or something like that. They had nothing. They were opening up boxes still, and some people were not able to get anything. So I walked through here, took pictures for you guys. Look at even the wallpaper was in this print. We walked over to the main shop. I went up to the men's section, and he showed me my bags. So I'm going to put my unboxing in here. So I got the East-West bag. I will put the exact names down below in the white. And then I got the Speedy in the black. The reason I chose the Speedy in the black, and I told him I wanted two, since I only was hoping to get two bags, I wanted two very user-friendly bags. And Speedy is that is what Louis Vuitton, that was my first bag. John bought that for me. I just love my Speedy. I'll never get rid of it. Then I talked to the lady that was painting, and she does it with the, hard trunks, and I wasn't getting one. So then according to how many or how much you spent, you got these coins to take next door to the pop-up shop and put them in this machine. And the best thing you could get in there was some type of little Japanese toy, or I don't know, it was some kind of little toy. But I ended up getting 2 stickers, which was fine for me. She recorded me. You see me here drinking water. As much as I always talk about drinking Diet Coke, and I do, when I'm shopping, whenever they offer me a water, I take it because I do think that is a key to feeling good when you're out of town is just keep on drinking water. And they always have good water. So then I set out and I did a little bit more shopping that day. Oh, you know what I did? Because it was so cold, I decided to get an Uber and I went to Bergdorf. And of course, I missed my SA Maria there again, but she had me set up with someone. I looked at everything. I tried on boots. I tried on all kinds of stuff. She showed me the new the new Dior collection. Nothing really got me. And I did get one pair of jeans from Les Gens that I will wear soon to show you. I walked down the street a little bit. Those same guys were out there, you guys, with their CD asking for money. The exact same guys. I can't believe it, but I did not fall for it today. And look at Louis Vuitton. Does it tell me exactly where it was? Right there across from the new building. So I guess, is that Midtown? And they were just waiting out there. And you guys, it was so cold. It was so cold. Let me see. It was Midtown East, 33 degrees, but feels like 15. And it was so much colder in the city than it was in SoHo. So I did not feel good there. I did not. I am a SoHo girl. That's just where I feel the best. That's what I enjoy. So what I was saying is I got an Uber out of Midtown and came back to the hotel and got lunch at my favorite table. Here's my bag. It looked so pretty. And just people watched. Here's my burger. And I had already cut it up. Sorry, that isn't as appetizing looking. Then I headed back out and I went to Chanel. Didn't get anything. Then I went to Schutz. Got the boots, including a pair of brown ones. Here, let me show you. These dark brown, very comfortable. Haven't worn these yet. And I did get just an 8 in these. I would try every boot you see, I tried on an 8 and an 8.5 just to see if I could wear them and had room for socks. So I had a really good time in there, went back to my hotel. It was 29. And let's see, got up the next morning I was downstairs by 6:12, sat around a little bit, wore the other new Schutz boots, wore my new Acne Studios jeans, and here's my breakfast. And then I had an agenda. I put my hat on this day, my wool Gucci hat, loved it, gloves, scarf, the whole thing. I got them. Checkout time was 12, but I was leaving at 9:23. And I just had them hold my luggage. And I set out and I had stopped at Aritzia the day before and gotten 2 pair of jeans and tried them on Saturday night and didn't like them. So I took those back. I ended up getting the pants I have on. I'll put an outfit picture in here because they are perfect. I sized up to a 6 so that they would drape down over my shoes. And I got their heavyweight black sweatpants. And then I had a credit. And I was waiting for the stores to open. Most opened at 11, but the real store I wanted to go to was the YSL, the St. Laurent store, and it didn't open until 12. So I exchanged those. I went to, this is what it was. I went to, Grabenstein's Bagels. This is the place that I bought my bagels for my parents last time in the fall at Fashion Week, and they were so good. So I wanted to go back there. And so I went there and got bagels. This gentleman that was there let me sit with him and just drink a Diet Coke and hang out in the warmth until some places were open. And then I went to Reformation and got some pants. And then I stood in line behind this beautiful girl. Look at how long her hair is. Oh my gosh. At YSL. And I proceeded to try on boots. And then I bought another bag. I've been so into the whole black bags with gold hardware. And when I walked in, I was going in to look at boots and I saw this bag and it just was so beautiful that I had to have it. And I have never heard of this bag. I'm sure all of you know what it is and I'm just behind the times. Okay, and here it is. Is that not a beautiful, beautiful bag? And I believe the name of it is the Manhattan bag. And one thing that makes this one special is it's the box leather. and it's a little bit, they don't have it on the website. It's a little bit of a bigger size. It has the top handle, and then you can adjust this if you want to put it over your arm. So I think it has that vintage vibe and that very classic chic look to it. And I love that it's not just so popular. You know, I'm just finding the more I get around more and more fashion, the more I appreciate not having the bag or the shoes, you know, that, you know what I mean. And then I did end up getting, oh, I might as well show you. And then I did end up getting these boots. I asked her about comfortable boots, and this girl, just her whole vibe was what I wanted. And she said that she wears these for hours, you know, out to dinner and everything. I'm not expecting to walk the city in these, but I mean, look at the heel with the YSL, and I loved the color. And when I put them on, they just fit like a glove with my socks on, all the things. So by this point, it was time to go. I did not have much time. I told her, don't worry about wrapping everything up, because I also remember last year about this time I tried on some YSL jeans when I went to Dallas and I didn't get them. Well, I ended up getting a pair this time. So I'll show you those soon too. And I told her, I said, I've got to go. I've got to get an Uber to the airport. So I got an Uber. I told him I'm going straight to the airport. And so he had me just change my drop-off point. I ran in, got my luggage. The guy there helped me put all this in my luggage because I had lots of space because I hadn't bought that much or anything that big. I had had everything shipped from Louis Vuitton. And so went to the airport and had a wonderful flight home. And let's see. Oh, I did eat this burger at Terminal B, and it was from the Melt Shop, and it was really good, I have to admit. And then I came home that night, dropped by my parents first, took them their bagels, and then the next day I went over there and gave them play-by-play. You guys think you get play-by-play? My daddy gets play-by-play of every single, he likes to know every detail, and then I like to show them what I got and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this. And I want to do a separate video on what I wore and what made it different than some other stuff and what was great for other people that are like me, that are not used to cold weather but still want to look good, want to be comfortable. So that will be coming soon too. And like I said, I have no earrings on today. This is my Gucci necklace that John bought me. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I will see you guys real soon. Let me know what your favorite thing was down below. Bye-bye.